Hello. Hi. Thanks for spending your precious Friday lunchtime joining us for this webinar session. Okay, hi, I'm Kay. So I have the rest of my team to actually say hi to you all.
Hi everybody, I'm Elena, the co-founder of the Immigration People with K. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi everyone, I'm Ivy. I'm one of the immigration consultant in TIP. Nice to have you guys on board today.
All right, Elena, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure, of course. So I see that we have quite a handful of you guys in the session already. So without further ado, let's jump into the main topic for today. So we will now share screen to show you guys the presentation slides.
Elena, are you able to see my slides? Can the rest of you see my slides, please?
Sorry, Kia, I'm unable to see your slides.
What about the rest? Can you use the chat option to let me know? Yeah? Okay, good. So actually, Elena, are you able to see the slide? Because the rest of the people actually can see the slide.
Okay, I'm not able to see from my screen, but luckily I have another monitor here, so I will see from the other laptop. Okay, guys, thank you so much So let us go into the consultation without further ado. So thank you so much, for being here on Friday afternoon. So before we start the session, okay, let us have some guidelines on how the webinar should be. And so to make this session a lot more interactive and engaging so that you will not be, bored by our voices for the next 45 minutes. So here's a little bit of functions that you should be aware of. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you should be able to see little icons that says Q&A, and there's the raise hand, lower hand options. So of course, for the chat box, feel free to share your comments, okay, as we go along. And at times when we ask questions, you can actually raise your hand, lower your hand, and we will have a Q&A session towards the end of our presentation. So whatever questions you have, please leave down in the Q&A, and we will do our best to address them all during the last 10 minutes of our webinar. All right, so can I have a show of hands that everyone is clear of the guidelines? Please do a raise hand so I can take a look. All right, so very good, thank you. Let's move on. So who are we? So for the immigration people, we have combined 15 years of experience in the Singapore immigration industry. Myself, I have been doing immigration since 2014 and I have worked with K since 2017. And of course, we have our back-end team to actually support us with all the documentation and paperwork. And these are all experienced personnel who have at least 3 years of immigration experience each. So this is the immigration people. Next slide, please. All right. So there must be a reason why you are here today. And can I have a show of hands to see how many of you guys are a work pass holder in Singapore, which means you are either on S pass, employment pass, or personalized employment pass, entrepreneur pass. You can list down, in the chat box on what is the type of pass that you are holding right now. So I see a handful raising your hands that you're work pass holders. Okay, do not be shy. Please feel free to leave a comment as well on the type of pass that you're holding. Okay, EP from Patricia and Yash EP, fantastic. Okay, and let us take a look at how many PRs are here today. Any PRs? Please have a show of hands. Well, the number is increasing. I can see quite a handful of you are on PRs today as well. Fantastic. And next question, how many of you have actually applied for PR or citizenship before? Filed an application to the Immigration Checkpoints Authority, to upgrade your past status here. Okay, fantastic. So we have, 4 or 5 people who has raised their hands. Okay, and how many has been rejected once? Can I have a show of hands? Please raise your hands to let me know how many of you guys have actually filled in your PR or citizenship application before. Okay, and how many have, okay, good, so we have quite a number as well. Do not be too disheartened, because let us move on to the next slide. How many you think, let us make a guess now. How many applications you think is being filed to the immigration authorities on a yearly basis? I have a tip. Okay, please leave down your answer in the chat box. So I have a tip for you guys. Currently, we have 2 million foreigners working in Singapore, and we have 530,000 PRs. So out of these numbers, how many do you think actually, submitted an application to ICA for PR or citizenship consideration? Make a guess, please. I can't move on if there's no answer. Don't worry, there's no penalty for the wrong answers. Okay, Georgina says 50,000. Okay, yes, 50,000. Very close. What about the rest? 50,000 PR applications, I assume. All right, maybe we can take a look at the answer. So there is about 100,000 PRs filed on a yearly basis to ICA, and about 60,000 people who wants to apply for citizenship. Do you have an idea how many is the government approving? So after we guess how many submitted, right? Maybe we can make a guess how many is the government approving these days. Can I take a look at the answers, please? 50,000. Okay. Anyone? All right, so there's about 32,000 approvals for PRs and 22,000 for citizenship. So we're looking at about 60 to 70% of the applications being rejected, because the Singapore government will only select the cream of the crops. That means they only want foreigners who are best fit for Singapore society, okay, to be given this this special status. So if you and your family have not been successful before, please do not be disheartened, because you're just, it just means that, you're one of the majority who got rejected, because it's not easy to be approved these days. Okay, so next one, I need you guys to participate here. How many of you guys love Singapore? Please raise your hand. Those who did not raise your hand, okay, my partner Kay, she will be kicking you out from this webinar session. Okay, yes, so the numbers are finally moving. We have a lot of people who love Singapore. So the rest don't love Singapore. Yeah? Okay, and maybe have a show of hand. How many of you here have children and are sending your kids to an international school? Okay, so we have quite a good handful as well. Good. Maybe we can take a look at, what are the rates for international schools right now. So here, if you look at the screen, you can actually see the two most common and popular international schools here in Singapore, providing education from preschool all the way to high school level. And I would say the fees are not cheap, because they are in the 5-digit range on a per year basis. So some of the school fees are even, some people's yearly income itself. We're talking about spending 36 to 40,000 for your child's education, and we're not even talking about college level. Yeah, it's just from preschool to high school, and it can already be somebody else's yearly income. So it's definitely not cheap for an international school. Next thing, okay. Next slide, please. So currently, of course, the hottest topic is about COVID. And if you were to go to forums or Facebook groups these days, you can actually see that there are a lot of work pass holders who are separated from their family members, from their loved ones. Actually, not just for work pass holders. We have clients who are PRs. Okay, they are separated from their family members because their family members do not hold, a permanent status here. So only citizens, PRs, will be given the priority to return to Singapore. And as you know, right now there's a travel ban. Okay, a lot of work pass or dependent pass holders, they are stranded overseas. They can't come into Singapore. And currently, on a day-to-day basis, the Ministry of Manpower is only allowing up to 230 foreigners entering Singapore. And all this, right, 230 foreigners, they are work pass or dependent pass holders, not tourists. So imagine you are on EP, okay, you went Australia 2 months ago for a work trip, now you are stranded there. Every day, you or your employer has to file an application to MOM seeking for approval. But right now, they can only let up to 230, work pass or dependent pass holder into Singapore at the same time in a day. So majority of the work pass holders, they are still stranded overseas. All right. And also the difference between being on a work pass, being on as a PR or a citizen, you get to enjoy different, of course, property rental rates. So as a PR or citizen, definitely you can purchase public government housing, okay, at a much reduced stamp duty fee, which is about at least 15% reduction. So can you imagine a private condominium that costs $1 million and you have to pay 20%, $200,000 for stamp duty. But as a PR, you only need to pay 5%, $50,000 stamp duty. So you're talking about $150,000 difference in terms of tax reduction. All right, next slide, please. So currently, let us take a look at the current immigration landscape. How is COVID affecting, the quota as well? So as most of you know, that since 2008, okay, the government has tightened down and reduced significantly in terms of the new PRs and citizens issued. Okay, so this is the reason why is because they want to ensure the quality of foreigners that they are giving the special passes privileges to. However, immigration is still here to stay because we are lacking in terms of a lot of other natural resources and we can only rely on our talent pool. So next slide, we will show you the statistics of the number of approvals over the past 10 years. So from this graph, you can actually see that, currently the government is approving about 33,000 new PRs and 22,000 new citizens. So the slides that we've shown earlier is actually not a number we plucked from the sky. All these are actually facts, statistics backed by and given by ICA. And why immigration will not stop? Because the government is aiming to, so the government is actually aiming to approve, to reach 6.9 million population size by 2030. And as of today, in 2020, we are only at 5.8 million. So we have to increase by 1.1 million, over the next 10 years. And it's not possible to do so by just relying on our own citizens' birth rate. This is why immigration is very important and it will continue to drive our economy over the next, few decades as well. Next slide, please. All right, then in this slide, I will pass on to my partner, Kay, to actually touch on what are the commonly made mistakes in your immigration applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Hi, everyone. I'm Kay here. Okay, so actually, this is a very important slide. So just now I saw that there are some of you, get rejection before, and I assume that you did it yourself. So for people who did it themselves, right, I can assure you, out of this, list of common mistakes, you definitely at least make 2 of the mistakes that I'm going to share with you very shortly. Okay. So, but don't be disheartened like what Elena said, right? It's very common. Now, the first one, okay, not aware of high reviewing standards of ICA. For your information, the moment ICA actually look at your profile, okay, you will go through the initial screening stage, whereby they are only focusing on your forms and documents to make sure that everything is tip top, right? So I just do a quick sharing with you. Example, there are some Indian national, okay, they do not have any birth certs. School certification is recognized in India. Unfortunately, it is not recognized in Singapore. So this is one good example. So I have clients who applied themselves without the birth cert. They thought like, oh, I don't have, so I don't have to do anything about it. Actually, right, it is not right. You have to actually approach, High Commission of India to actually get it reissued. So this is the first one. Now, the second one is also very common, minimal or no social integration efforts. I have clients who have been here for a very long time, but if you ask them, what have you done to try to integrate to Singapore? Literally nothing, okay? The reason why Malaysian Chinese, Indonesian Chinese is the easiest group of, people to get approval is because we, especially for Malaysian, like me, right? Okay, so it's very similar in terms of culture, language. It's very easy for Malaysian to integrate here. But other than that, if you come from some, so-called exotic country, right? Okay, so you actually need to make effort to try to integrate to Singapore. The third one is not aware of government stand with regards to immigration. So what is happening inside this black box, okay, of ICA, right? So when you get rejection, there's no reason stated as well. So a lot of people, they do not understand what is happening behind the scenes. I'll come to that very shortly. So I'm sure the next slide will actually bring a lot of, insights, knowledge for with regards to ICA. Okay. Now the next one is submission of compulsory documents only. This is also one of the most common mistakes. Up to 90% of my clients who apply themselves, normally they just go up to ICA website and submit what is asked. Okay. So what ICA asks: passport, birth cert, edu cert, marriage cert. So imagine ICA today only receive this set of documents. So they know very little about you to make a decision to grant you your PR status. Okay. Now the next one is may not be aware of of new or existing policy affecting applications. For your information, ICA does, change their policy from time to time, sometimes once a year, sometimes every 6 months. I give you one good example. So with effective from October last year. So if your document was not in English, you have to get it translated and notarized by Singapore Notary Public. This is existing policy, but the new additional things that you have to do is to get an authentication stamp by Singapore Academy of Law. So today, if you apply yourself, you might not aware of this, new policy that affecting your applications. Okay, so this is one example. All right. Now, the next one is, rely on poor opinion leader. So, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of myths, going on. Right now, you have no boy, okay, you have stand a very low chance in getting approval. You have to stay here very long, 5 years, then only you actually thinking of applying for PR because of, someone's advice. Okay, you have to understand, right, these people, they only know about their profile and they will think of, many different reasons why their profile rejected. But for us, okay, we have handled a lot more profile, okay? So for myself, I'm in this industry for close to 4 years. I've handled more than 700 applications. So definitely no more than your friend who gave you, this poor opinion, right? Okay. Now, the next one is error during your own submissions, okay? So today you're filling up the form for the very first time, okay? But for us, we are doing it on a very regular basis. Every day we file application. So it's very prone to make mistake when you do your own filing, okay? Now, the next one is no post-submission knowledge. So, a lot of people think after submission, all I need to do is just sit back, relax, and pray, okay? Not true, because there are things that you still have to update ICA, certain profile change. They would like to know. It shows your keenness in your profile as well, right? In your application as well. Example will be like job change, promotion, increments, okay? So you're supposed to update ICA, okay? Now, next slide, I'm going to talk about this very important things, okay? You have to pay full attention, okay? So, don't look at your YouTube if you're looking at it right now. Your crash landing on UK drama, you have to close it, okay? Because this is very important, okay? Now, this is the top influencing factors affecting Singapore PR and citizenship applications, okay? Now, for your information, ICA are going to look at pretty much the same set of, factors when they're evaluating both PR and citizenship profile, okay? Now, if you're going to ask me, Kate, tell me what is the most important thing on all of this factor, just tell me one, what is the most important thing? I'll work on that. Now, the answer is no. everything is contributing factors. There's no one deciding factors. Government are using a holistic approach. Let's start straight, at one of the most important things, age. So a lot of people think when you're slightly older, you have no chance, okay, because you have very little period of contributions. Now, we have helped someone 63 years old, 63 years, after 20 years staying in Singapore, making his very first attempt, and he got his PR approved. Okay, so why is this happening, right? How come, right? Okay, a lot of people always ask. So, although he do not meet this, age required, like not doing very well in terms of his period of contribution, but the rest of the factor, right, he make up to it. Okay, so he's actually a CEO of a big MNC company, economic contribution, excellent, a lot of achievement. That's why he's a CEO. Okay, and a good educational level as well. So, how we help our clients here is that based on this graph, we give advice to our client on how they can try to check as many boxes as possible to make sure that they stand a very good chance in their application. So we are not like some, form filler company. So what they do is they just take your information, okay, they just fill out the form and have it to submit. Basically, there's no value added that they can, your chances will not be increased by just passing your application to a form filler agency. Okay, so that's why there is this misconception that people always have, is that agency will not add value in your application. It's true to a certain extent, depending on what type of agency you're talking about. Okay, we are consultancy firm. Okay, now the next one is family ties. Okay, this is very important. Of course, you stand a much higher chance if, let's say, you're married to a citizen or PR. Okay, but however, do not have to worry if you're single. I'm not going to force you to get married tomorrow. Okay, just to get your PR status. No, right? Okay. However, if let's say there are married people, example, S pass holder, their family are not here, their family is in their home country, okay, they are applying themselves and excluding them, this is not a very good profile. Okay, so for us, right, we're also very upfront with the clients. If your chances are not good, we are going to let you know. That being said, right, having relatives here are also important as well. So a lot of people, they are not aware of, oh, I have cousin here, it will help me in my application. So how does it help? Imagine, right, I have two profiles, candidate A and candidate B. Candidate A single, candidate B also single, but candidate B has a lot of relatives around him and they are all local, Singaporean or PR. If the same thing happened to these two candidates, right, I would say definitely candidate B have a lower tendency of moving back, okay, to their home, to his home country, because he has a lot of support here. He has a lot of support here. He has his relative around him. Okay, so relative is also important. Okay, now the next one is industry requirements. Okay, for your information, ICA does segregate the quota according to which industry you are in. Okay, so this is very important. Now, a lot of people always ask, which is the best industry? How do I find out? Okay, so if you read the news, you roughly have an idea, what type of talent that Singapore government will want, right? Okay, because I give you a good example. Right now, we are moving towards being a smart nation. Okay, if let's say you're in this industry, like example, technology, cybersecurity, fintech. Okay, so if you're in this field industry, you probably just need to be within top 30% of your quota, then you get approval. But however, if let's say you are into, manufacturing, construction, you probably have to squeeze yourself to be the top 3 to 5%, then you get approval. But moral of the story is there are definitely quota available for every industry, because if you understand how ICA works, right, ICA also keep track of if anyone renounce their PR, retire, they will try to top up the industry quota. Okay, so this is how the system works. Okay, now the next one is social integration. So I did mention about this just now. Okay, so how we help our client, we're gonna point you to the right directions. Okay, which one will be very useful for your application and how many hours is sufficient. So during our one-to-one session, we will take a look at your profile. We will understand from you what you have been doing, okay, and then we will give you suggestion on how you can improve this social integrations. Okay, it's probably by doing volunteering works, by joining some, social causes club. Okay, so all this will help you to actually integrate to Singapore. The next one is property investments. Okay, of course, right? Being a foreigners here, you have to pay additional stamp duty as high as 20%. Okay, so if let's say you have the budget, please go ahead if you can afford the additional stamp duty, because it is definitely one of the best way to showcase that you are pretty much integrated. You are pretty much committed to stay here in Singapore, that you have already purchased a property. Okay, now the next one is insurance. Okay, a lot of people might have insurance, but you're not aware that insurance will be very useful for your application. Why is it useful? Ultimately, ICA do not like liability. They will always prefer someone who's already well covered. And by having personal insurance, it does showcase your long-term plan in Singapore. Right? Okay. So a lot of people have company insurance, but company insurance, sometimes during the unemployment gap, you're still exposed to the risk. Okay. So, although you have company insurance, we'll encourage our clients to actually get some personal insurance. Okay. So same during the one-to-one session, we will see what you already have. We'll give you a suggestion on what you can work on. All right. Now the next one is endorsement. Imagine today I put in an application. It comes with recommendation letter from my Indian friends, Malay colleagues. So all this, right, does kind of link with social integration. It does showcase that you're pretty much integrated here, that you have a group of friends, colleagues, and they're all very supportive of your application. They're willing to write a few good words about yourself to actually endorse your character. Okay, so endorsement will help you. So same during one-to-one session. Okay, I will actually discuss with you who you may approach to get this kind of recommendation letter. Right, next one, unique talent. Unique talent, this is not common. Okay, so unless you're telling me that you have certain talents in terms of sports, example, very competitive, you can swim faster than Joseph Schooling. Okay, then I can showcase this, that you can actually represent the Singapore national team. Okay, so this sort of unique talent. All right, so next I'm gonna go to financial investments. Okay, so I have a lot of clients here, right? They have been staying here for a very long time, and all they have is bank account, and it's very liquid. Okay, but it's very liquid that tomorrow, if you were to go back to your home country, you can withdraw everything, right? So you have no commitment here. So how we help our client? Okay, we're going to give them some example on what they can invest to showcase their long-term commitment here. I give you one example today. Okay, like a fixed deposit, 10, 20 years. It does showcase that you have planned to stay here for another 20 years. Okay, so this is my proof. I already invested in fixed deposit or SRS account as well. Okay, supplementary retirement scheme. Can I have a show of hand just to make sure that you didn't fell asleep? Okay, can I have a show of hand? How many of you have SRS account here? Can you use the chat option to actually let me know? Oh, okay, there are 4 of you here who have SRS account. Okay, so use the chat. Did you put in your SRS account information in your past attempt if you have applied before? Yeah, you get my question, right? For those who have SRS account, if you make your attempt previously, did you showcase this to ICA? If you could let me know. Or you can also tell me that, I have never applied before. Yeah, I think today our participant is a bit shy. Don't worry, okay? Maybe they're, you think that this is a webinar, you're on a record. Okay, never applied before. Okay, finally someone answered me. Okay, never applied before. Okay, my first time, yeah. So actually, right, SRS account, right, will help you. Okay, so when you come to our one-to-one session, we will tell you how we can actually showcase all this information. The next one is educational level. I saw there are a lot of you, holding on to EP. Okay, to have an EP, you must have a decent qualification, tertiary education. So you would have already checked the box for educational level. Okay, now the next one is professional achievements. Okay, this is very important. All right, when you apply for your application, right, for those who applied before, okay, if you take a look at the Form 4A, Form 4A stands for application for, okay, technical professional, technical personnel and skilled worker scheme, okay, which called PTS scheme. So what are they looking at? It's in the title itself. They're looking at your professional achievements, okay? They're looking at your skill set. So it's very important that you need to showcase this, okay? Now, our online Form 4A, the new version, okay, so they provided 3,500 words. They give you a section for you to actually tell them what have you done, what did you achieve, okay. So 90% of my clients who did it themselves previously, they always put not applicable. So why? Because they have no idea what to build up, right? So if you put in the basic form, no additional documents, yet at the 3,500 words that they give an opportunity for you to showcase your achievement, you put not applicable. So how can you get PR approved, right? Okay. Now the next one is economic contribution. So when you come to one, right, we will teach you on how to showcase this professional achievement. Okay. Last but not least, economic contributions. Okay, of course, this is one common misconception. People always think the higher salary you have, the more tax you pay, the best chance. It's not true, yeah, for your information, right? Okay, ICA does have some certain requirements, but the requirement is as low as $6,000. Because you see, right, MOM thinks that by having $6,000, you can afford to raise a family here, and then you'll be eligible to actually get dependent pass, right? Okay, so this is one guideline that you can follow, right? Okay, so for household income, anything lower than $6,000 is not that good. You have to try to actually work on it to improve, okay, to get increment, right? Okay, now the next one, it's common myth, all right? Like I did mention to you, okay, if you pay attention to the previous slide, you know how ICA works, you would have known that this is not true. Okay, Singapore government prefers sons over daughter. Not true. I have a lot of clients with just daughters. Okay, I have clients who have 4 daughters, still get his PR approved, right? Okay, unless today, right, you are telling me that I have copy and paste profile. Everything is exactly the same, okay? Age wise, family profile also the same, okay? I mean, like, working, wife also working. Everything is exactly the same, but only different between these two family is one having son, another one having daughter. In this scenario, if I have one quota available, I will prefer the son profile, right? Okay, so it's not true, and there's no copy and paste profile, right? You get approved for PR, you get approved for your PR by luck. No, okay? Just how we just went through the slide. The more you pay your taxes, the higher your chances. Your salary determines approval. Not true. I have people who earn $3,000 to be able to get their PR or citizenship approved. If your rejection letter does not mention about reapplying after this many years, means you do not stand a chance anymore. Not true. For your information, the rejection letter, they have certain template for it. They just go on a rotation basis. They just randomly send it to you. So your rejection letter does not say anything. All right. You will definitely get rejected in your first application, as the government determines your sincerity through the number of attempts you make. The more the better. You apply 20 times. Wow, very sincere. No, not like that. Okay. Actually, the first time, right, is the first chance is your best chance, right? Okay, because it is your first attempt. I see have no records of your. They'll be more than happy to actually spend time studying all this fresh profile. The more rejection you get, the lower your chances. Okay, so if you value your time, try not to do the same mistake. There are a lot of people, submitting the same thing over and over again and hope for different results. Okay, so this is really not the right way, right? Okay, so how do we help you? Okay, so we have true immigration knowledge. Okay, I have close to 2 years of experience. Okay, working with ex-ICA officer. Yeah. Okay, so that's why we know a lot about how ICA works. Okay, and then we are a boutique immigration consultancy firm, means more personalized attention. We do not do mass market. Okay, I know that there are a lot of company out there, right? Whatever profile they see, they will always tell you, yes, we can help you to apply. The chances of approval is 99%, up to 99%. I just talked to someone yesterday, so he had a bad experience. okay, working with this company, charge so much and promising 99%, okay, and he got rejected, okay. So we do not do mass market. If let's say your chances are low, we'll be very upfront with you, and you can assure that you get personalized attention, okay. A complementary profile evaluation, this is very important. Right now there are a number of you here. I do not know everyone. It's very hard for me to give you a very personalized solution on how you can improve your chances. So you definitely have to come to our one-to-one session, which is this in-depth profile evaluations, okay. We're going to share with you a list of supporting documents to maximize your chances of success, okay. So people apply themselves, minimum document. We have another list of supporting documents, okay. So all this, right, will help you to increase your chances, because ICN knows more about you right now. They know your achievements. They know what's your motivation to apply for PR, okay. We have 3 dedicated personnel to be in charge of every case to ensure that communication efficient and customer service excellent. Okay, so do not have to worry that in a lot of company, right, in a lot of other company, okay, competitors. So the first time you see the consultant, sometimes will be the last time you'll be seeing the consultant. Okay, so for us, don't worry, we hand holding you throughout the entire process. Every document package is personalized. Okay, there's no draft template. I know that there are some company, what they do, they take out the name, they insert your name, they take out nationality, they insert your nationality. So it's it's basically the same. Okay, so for us, right, during the one-to-one session, we'll share with you, up to 2 sample of cover letter, just to show you that there's no draft template. We write everything from scratch, so it's highly personalized. Okay, and post submission and post outcome care and support. Okay, so for us, okay, our client is our friends. Okay, why is that so? Because after submission we are still there. I have client who got his PR approved. Okay, he got an opportunity to go Dubai, and he still come back to me and ask my suggestion on should he go, how he can actually retain his PR. Okay, we are talking about building a very long-term relationship with our clients. Okay, now this one I'm not going to speak much because some of it was already covered during the previous slides. Okay, very importantly, we have consistent pricing model. We do not charge $7,000 and give you 50% discount if you can decide today. Okay, no, we are not pushy at all. Okay, we do not charge according to your pay grade. Okay, and you can accept you will get exceptional service standard and support from us. Okay, and then in terms of knowledge, definitely because of many years of experience and used to work with ex-ICA officer, so we know how ICA works. So a proper strategizing and case building. So for some company, right, they will tell you, 1 month we can file the application. How can you build up the profile in 1 month, right? It doesn't make sense, because when we tell you that, you have to do some donation and volunteering works, right? These are the things which cannot be built up in a short time, 1 month or 2 months time. Okay, now the next one, more personalized attention, like we did mention to you. Okay, so these are before circuit breaker. Okay, of course, right? So we normally get invited to speak to 50 to 100 people during lunch and learn, during seminar. We do corporate seminar as well, corporate webinar as well. We have been talking to, companies like UOB, Prudential, WeWork, to educate their staff about PR and citizenship, okay, because they have a lot of expat employees, okay. So this one you can actually search about us, okay, what are our clients saying about us on our Google review. Just take a look at all the Google review. Just search for the immigration people. Okay, now this is only a small amount of cases, okay, approved. All right, so just want to share with you a client 12 years in Singapore, rejected 7 times, and 7 times with the same rejection letter. All right, okay, so on the 8th attempt he managed to get his PR. Is it because of profile change? No profile change, because he's a business owner. Okay, so there's no job change, there's no increment, there's no promotion. So what is the difference this time around? A much more comprehensive profile that we presented to ICA. Okay, so it matters a lot. Okay, let me give you an example. Today, right, if we say that, you want to get into Google, Facebook, one of the best company to work in, right? it's not good enough to just put in a resume. Okay, it's best to put in a cover letter to tell them, how you can make a difference, right, in the company if they were to hire you. Okay, and then you have an opportunities to sit in front of the officer. Okay, not officer, sorry, interviewer, to actually impress them, right, during the interview. But today, right, okay, for applying for PR, there's no interview involved in the entire process, yet people think that I will get approval just by putting in a sloppy applications. Okay, that's not the right things. Okay, now right, I'm going to share with you a testimonials video. Okay, so just relax and enjoy the video. Hey, so congratulations once again for getting your PR status.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I understand that previously you applied twice and got the rejections. So on the third attempt, so under my advice, so you successfully obtained your Singapore PR status. So maybe can you share what is the difference between the first two attempts and the third attempt, and the entire experience working with me in your PR applications?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to share that. Well, first of all, thank you so much for all the help and guidance. I think the main difference between the current attempt versus the first two times when I applied myself was basically I just thought that providing all the documents which were requested by ICA would have been enough, which clearly it was not, as it got rejected both times. And I think working with you and the rest of your team, it was really amazing how you guided me and the whole family through basically the process of how to make the best case to ICA, looking at my profile, our profile, what were the weaknesses versus what was required to make a strong case. And then not only highlighting those, but also guiding us in how we can actually make up for those gaps, whether it was, trying to show how involved we are in the Singaporean society, working on some of the documentations like cover letters and testimonials, and helping highlight the strong aspects, both from professional and personal side of our profile. And I think it was really amazing working with you guys because you were absolutely available for any queries we had throughout the process, whether it was documentation, application submission, or even after the application was submitted. So I really appreciate that. And I think finally, it was great. Even once we got the result, you guided us through how to complete the formalities and eventually go and get that long-awaited blue IC. So yeah, thank you so much for all the help and guidance.
All right, so sorry, just trying to work on the video. All right, so just a personal sharing. Okay, so a lot of people they don't understand why am I doing this? Why am I doing immigration? Well, for your information, I used to be a cabin crew for 5 years with Singapore Airlines. And right now I'm doing this immigration for close to 4 years. Okay, so why am I here today, right? Okay, so I was once you, almost 9 years ago, I was an EP holder. I came to Singapore from Malaysia, okay? And right now, okay, I'm settled down here. I'm happily settled down here. And I'm running my own immigration firm, okay? So why am I doing this today is because I want to help people like me, okay? Like you, right? Who love Singapore, who want to settle down here long-term, passionate about making Singapore your permanent home, okay? So that's the reason why, I'm doing this today, because of, I'm looking for people who share the same core value as me, and I would like to convert you to a PR. Okay, and then right now I pass to actually Elena. Elena also have a sharing as well. Okay, Elena?
Thank you, Kay. So yes, actually, although I'm I'm a Singaporean born here, but my family members, my mom, and a lot of my maternal relatives, they are Malaysians. So my mom also used to be in your shoes. She came to Singapore to work, and of course, subsequently, she met my dad, married, and had me. And I remember when I was in primary school, she was trying to apply for citizenship. Back then it was not as challenging as now, but because my mom, she's not very fluent in English, my dad sucks at paperwork, and I was too young, so basically she had to go from agencies to agencies to get help with her documentation and form filling. So I remember it was pretty tedious on her part, but luckily she got approved, and I see how she benefited with having a Singapore passport because she's on her, long-term medication due to an existing medical condition. So it actually helped us a lot in terms of the subsidies and grants from the government. So I do see a value in, for those who see Singapore as their home for the long term, really a value in you becoming a PR or a citizen. This is why, alongside with Kay, we share the same vision and mission, and we want to really help out people genuinely.
All right, so this is pretty interesting, okay? Because for TIP, right, we do choose clients, okay? So what type of client that Tip want to work with? If you're passionate about Singapore, why I'm saying this is because, I have done a consultation before, and the client are quite skeptical. I just want to know more, right? After I presented to him, after I gave him suggestion on how he can improve his profile, and he dropped the bomb like, okay, you know what? I think it's not for me. I'm not keen now, right? So these are the people who are not passionate about Singapore, right? Okay, and we are looking for people who are proactive as well, and know that this is not any one application but yours. I have clients who, after we initiated the case, not doing anything, and when we ask for documents, not giving us as well. Okay, and then they say like, oh, you are the one who's supposed to do everything, right? Okay, so no, there's we want clients to be proactive because this is your application and not Tip application. Okay, you have to acknowledge the efforts need to be made. Okay, to show the government Singapore that you are the best fit. Sometimes we share with the client, oh, this is the government organization, you need to click the link, yeah, you have to do donation, yeah. However, okay, we do not put a gun on their head. There are still people who are not doing it, okay, and then their PR application fail. Okay, so there are certain efforts that you need to make. Okay, we're looking to work with people who are very family oriented. If let's say you want to exclude anyone in the application, for your information, the chances of approval are very low. So like last week, I have told this client of mine, okay, if you want me to take your application, I need everyone to apply together. If you were to exclude your son because of national service, okay, I can't take in the case because I know that you will definitely get rejected, okay? So Elena, is there any interesting things that you want to share? Like how do you qualify people?
Okay, yes. These days, right, because we know what is the government keeping a lookout for. So based on our experience and the trends, I will tell clients that your chances are really slim if you do not meet what the government is looking for. So yeah, we try to be honest with clients so they can make an informed decision, okay, rather than coming to us blindly or because we overpromise and to be disappointed at the end of the day. Yeah, because although we are here to make a living, but we want to make it with a clear conscience. So it's very important. Like I said, our mission is really to help our clients genuinely. So it's never to just do a one-time business, for that couple of $1,000s.
Yes. So right now, right, you are at the final stage. Okay, you're at the final step to realize your residency dream. So what is very important, like I mentioned to you, is this one-to-one consultation session. So let me just share with you what is it in the one-to-one session. Okay, we're gonna go into and we're gonna do an in-depth profile evaluations. We're gonna share with you ICA internal selection process. Okay, and then we're going to give you some suggestions, okay, on personalized solution on how you can improve your profile. Okay, so you have to actually make notes on what you need to do in the next 3 to 4 months time. All right, and then your entire journey with the immigration people. So right now, right, we're gonna go to our Q&A sessions. Okay, and then there is a QR code, all right, that you actually have to, scan this to take our in-house test to evaluate your chances. Okay, and then we'll be calling you to actually arrange for this free one-to-one sessions. Okay, so Ivy, would you like to help with the questions, Ivy?
Okay, let me see from the Q&A. Okay, property will I say look favorable if provide the address of a landed house I am intending to buy once I'm a citizen. My offer is subject to my successful citizenship. Oh, I think this is only what you meant from Georgina is like if let's say you are giving terms to ICA that provided they grant you a citizenship, then you will buy you buy a property. Is that what you mean? If that's what you meant, then sorry, because ICA will only take into consideration the existing factors that you have. So they will not take threats like, or this kind of offers like, subject to successful citizenship. So if let's say you are already holding a property, it's definitely a bonus. But without then, like what Kay say, we will have to work on other factors, but not as in painting something in the future. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. So.
Okay, we have 8 more minutes till the end of the Q&A. So please, have your questions coming in. I think this is the time, for you to ask questions. So before you decide whether you want to come for a consultation with us or, before you decide you want to explore the journey of PR or citizenship further. Okay. All right. For Georgina, he said, the offer to agent is dependent on citizenship. Yes. So, okay, a little bit different here, but generally, like what Ivy explained, I say we'll only take it with a grain of salt if it's not something that is materialized. So rather, we should be focusing on what you have done and what you can do, okay, rather than what will you do after you get this from the government. So yeah, Georgina, maybe you would like to focus on other things that you have already done over the past few years for your citizenship. I think that would be a lot more substantial. Okay, so if no questions, then probably you would like to, maybe we can end the session earlier, but I hope to see you guys around, with your, during the sorry, something fell. During the EPPA with us, okay, it's just a 3-minute test to gauge your eligibility as well as overall profile for citizenship or PR application. So we have one question from Patricia. Thank you so much, Ivy. Would you like to answer this?
Yes, hi Patricia. I think you have met me before over Zoom, right? Okay, so yes, there are actually like types of like investment that for people that don't have PR, like even EP, to apply from any agencies like insurance agencies, savings, investment plan and stuff like that. There is for a long term. So these are the things that you can actually look into. And I have also answered your question that time on how you can showcase to show that Singapore, your sincerity and rooting yourself here. So yes, there are definitely some of the things. Also, the retirement plan that Kay did mention, the SRS account is also a kind of investment plan that will commit age until 65 years old. So you can actually look into things like that, which is also applicable to EP or S-Pass holder. Yeah. Anything you can also text me, Patricia.
Okay, just to add on for Ivy, right? Okay, so it's a chicken and egg thing. My client always say, so is the chicken first or the egg first? So ICA, right, want to see that you are committed, then they're going to give you the PR status, right? So I think that if let's say you would like to stay here for 20 years, definitely you can actually invest in some form of fixed deposit with 20 years to showcase your commitment, right? But a lot of clients will always ask how much I should put in. Is there a certain amount? Then, the bigger the better. Actually, right, as long as you have the initiative, it's fine. So it really depends on how comfortable you are in terms of the amount. Elena, you want to add on something?
Yes, because I believe Patricia's concern is also like, oh, I don't want to commit to something that is not confirmed. And like what Kim mentioned, for the SRS account, right, actually it's one good way because, again, the penalty is pretty small. If you were to withdraw before 62 years old, like if anything happened, you need to withdraw the amount. It's only 5% penalty. So let's say if you have $1,000 deposited in your SRS account, $50 will be penalized, but you can still take the full sum back. And probably you will have earned a bit of interest for yourself already over the past few years. So there are long-term, plans that you can commit to without losing too much. Let's say in any event, you have to stop it before, the policy matures or something.
All right. Thank you so much. So I see that's the last questions. Don't worry. If you have any other questions, it's very easy to look for us. We have a very special name. It's TIP. So www.tip.com.sg. So if let's say there is any consultant here, property agent here, have clients who you might want to introduce to us, also you can actually reach out to us as well. Okay, so we'll be able to actually arrange for a consultation session, a free consultation session with your client as well. All right, thank you so much, guys.
We have one question on what is SRS. So SRS is a supplementary retirement scheme, okay, and you can open up this account with any of the 3 local banks. Feel free to understand more about SRS one. If you want to understand more on how SRS can help with the PR, then you can be connected with us very shortly.
All right. Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? No, that's all. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
See you guys around. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.